Earth Creations, and we're going to be doing some crafting today. Hey, Penny. Hey, Sea Kitty. Holy crap, how have you been? Hello, Grandma Tablet, so that we can... I turned it down before I scared myself with it today. Woo! Hey, Kelly Noble. Hey, Ginny. Hey, Laura. Hey, Sabaya. Are we being fashionable again? Oh, Kelly, you're so sweet. Beep boop. Hey, Pro. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Diane. Okay. There we go. We're all caught up. So, it's okay. I saved it. It fell, but I saved it. I guess I'm going to be putting my tablet somewhere other than right there. There we go. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Sandy. Howdy. How are you all? Nice and warm and doing well? We're trying to. I've got a heated blanket over here. Poor Randy's freezing his toes off. So we're figuring it out, though. This should be like the last, like, bitterly cold day. I hope all y'all are staying well, though. Hey, Tamara. Hey, Comatose. Hey, Stephanie. So today, I have no idea what we're working on. Okay, I do a little bit. We're gonna be doing wire wrapping. So I didn't know if we should do. I still have two more. Ah, hey, Rhonda, thank you. Well, that's a nice way to start the day. Hey, Bums. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Sarah. Sarah, woo! How are you doing? Supposed to get down to 9 tonight. Ugh, that's gross. But yeah, we've survived this far. We'll get through it. Finishing up watching Hercules. Nice. Yeah, and it's nasty. It's actually really beautiful. Like, because it's been very nice because we haven't had to drive anywhere. So we're like, yeah, this is great. We didn't need to drive, and we had all of our groceries, and everything's fine. So we've just been holed up in our house. Oh, thanks, Stephanie. I got all dressed up for you guys. No vaporizer tonight. I am feeling all better. Though actually, I'm a bit like, I'm not gonna make the noise I was just gonna make, but it's like the heater's just been blasting is all. So I should probably use my vaporizer, like my humidifier again, before I get sick again. But right, Kelly? Well, we actually have a little bit of a sanctuary both under our house and under our shed for the tomcats. That they just come and hide underneath our buildings. So there's tons of straw and mice under the chicken shed for them. So hopefully, if they haven't found it by now, they haven't been looking hard enough. Because I also don't tell Randy, but I put out cat food sometimes. Shh, don't tell Randy. Because I don't want to do it too much. Because I don't want to get like possums and skunks and raccoons over there by the chicken coop. Hey Anne, how's it going? New to your channel. I've been watching you all day and I've learned so much already. Right on. Well, thanks, Lisa. I'm so glad that we can be helpful to you. So I don't know if we want to work on. I have 2 more designs to do before I have this off of my workbench, and then I wanted to try doing some like. I've been watching tutorials all day, so I also I definitely need to wrap some of these lavenderites. Some of them will be going up into our next shop update, but a lot of them are just going to be going into our booth shop whenever we start vending again. So I need to get those designs made, and then I saw a tutorial today of a technique that I've been wanting to try, and I think there's like a modification that I'd like to make to it to make it more easy for me to craft, but I don't know, we'll have to see. Let's go ahead and get started. So let me get my tripod set up, and my area is a mess, y'all. Like, it's gross. And then we're having an after party today, y'all. Is this news? Again, let me get this. Okay. So just because we always have people ask, like in emails and stuff, I'm going to demonstrate again our tripod setup. So when I'm recording, and they have a desktop version now, but the reason I don't use a desktop version, hey Rhonda, thank you again. Holy smokes. I don't know what I did to get on your good side, but I'm glad for it. So over here, haha, Vonception. Hello, other Von. And then there's going to be lag, so now I'm going to see her wave, and then I'm going to wave and Von waving. I'm time traveling, I think, maybe. Oh my god, it takes forever time traveling. Hey. I really genuinely need to get out more. And did she wave at me again yet? I wasn't paying attention. There's a go, okay. Oh my gosh, send help. Okay, so the reason why I don't clamp anything onto my perfectly clamp-onable work surface is because if I bump it, it shakes, which in turn shakes the tripod, which drives not just me, but people in the comments crazy. So I have my tripod, it's like a boom arm style tripod with an ankle weight around the bottom and a nice wide stance so it doesn't completely fall over whenever I bump into it. And I prefer the ones that have the knob tightening as opposed to just the springs, because I have this honker-chonker of a phone that is so heavy that it'll just weigh down the spring ones. Whereas this one, you can put quite a bit of weight on it before it starts to like lean. So we do have that linked in our toolkit and stuff, but for those of y'all who like making TikToks and reels and different things like that with crafting where something that just clamps onto the table is not an option, this works out pretty well. And you can just do like a bag full of like rocks or something too. It doesn't gotta be an ankle weight. That's just what we had. So I'm gonna flip this around. It is a beautiful snowy day. I love sunsets over the snow, you guys. So beautiful. Especially when you don't have to drive in it. Okay, and I'm gonna keep messing about with the tripod just a little bit more to get a good angle. Hey, Pro. No, it's too drafty in this house for... I wish I had... Well, I don't wish for that as an excuse, but I don't have an easy excuse for my behavior today. So this is my messy work surface. Let's get tidied up first. Let's take just a few minutes to tidy up. Even though I'm going to be probably dragging all this stuff out again in just a few minutes. Oh, and if you hear like a roaring in the background, that's just our heater. It does that. It's cold. Oh, and Kelly, these aren't earrings. These are, they're kind of earrings. They're ear cuffs. So they fit onto the cartilage of your ear. Holding on right here. They don't require any piercings. Bye, Kit. Be safe. And they've got little... Now, we do have a tutorial on a very similar design that are earrings. Ooh, right on, Kelly. Oh, no, Christina. I hope you're... Are you okay? Are you feeling better? Hey, Christina. Yeah, it's... I've learned to live with my broken heart, and we're back to our regular streaming and upload schedule. Hey, Angela, I live in Southwest Missouri, near Joplin. Also, it super duper helps whenever y'all do like how Tamara did with the @Yvonne Williams and Christina Honeycutt. It makes it, hey Al, just like how Al just did, it makes it highlighted in orange, and that way I know y'all are talking to me and not to each other, because I can't quite keep up with all of the chat. But whenever you do the @Yvonne Williams, it does grab my attention most of the time. I try to do better, but here we are. Oof. Ow. Well, that's what I get for reading comments, and I thought there was a pen, and I just stabbed myself with a craft knife. The craft desk calls for blood. Hey, Kimberly, how's it going? Oh, just a little stab. Ooh, Oh, Susan says, how do I know what gauge wire to buy when starting? Well, what are you looking to make? Because sometimes if you have a limited budget or you really just want to get one size of wire, um, it can depend kind of what you're interested in making, whether it's because I'd recommend a different gauge for earrings than I necessarily would for like a bracelet. Yeah, everybody should be tidying their desks right now. If I have to, you have to too, or something. Misery loves company, they say. No, this isn't miserable. It's just now I'm not gonna put this stuff away because I'm gonna be using it today. I'm gonna be using 18 gauge enameled copper wire. Kelly says, geez, do I gotta? Just like pretend. I don't know, just go like this. Like, boom. Like, there was we did a video once where I literally, like, just, like, smushed everything outside of the frame of the camera. It was very representative of our reality. Right on, Judith. In Houston. Very cool. Is that considered a super durable, stabbing yourself? Yeah, I mean, there's no blood. It's good. Rule 13, no bleeding on the merchandise. Ooh, okay, so these guys, we figured out how to get a much better puddle, or a much more consistent, for a pendant, Susan, I would recommend, like a 20, 18, or 16 gauge wire, depending on if you're going to be including beads. But those diamonds that we had cut that came out kind of flat in the fire polish, they came out, we put another square of clear on them and then full fused them, and it actually helped us to get an almost perfectly consistent shape. So any way that we're able to reliably make shapes happen when puddling, I'm very pleased with, because it means we don't have to use it. We don't have to use any molds or anything. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'll put those in there. These are the gears I'll be making into ear cuffs today. This needs put over yonder. Drink that last bit of coffee. Get all the dog fur off. Okay, I've got some questions for you guys. So tomorrow we're recording lesson 2 of the wire wrapping masterclass, and give me a sec to get my brain. Okay. So tomorrow I'm recording lesson 2 of the wire wrapping masterclass, and it's going to be all about ear hooks, making your own ear hooks. So what questions do you guys have? And it's not going to be just about making your own ear hooks, it's about shopping for ear hooks as well. So like the things that I'm personally looking for whenever if I'm at Michael's or Joann's, or if I'm on Amazon, or if I'm Fire Mountain Gems shopping, I'm going to go through kind of the common things that I look for, kind of different shopping tactics that I use, so that I can be a little bit more certain about what I'm getting, as well as how to make our own DIY versions from beginner to professional level in intricacy, or I guess beginner to advanced, because I'm going to tell you guys, I've been a professional ever since I was a beginner. So like I was hugging my jewelry even when it was like not very good. It had like, and I say not very good because it's like sometimes the cabs would like pop out or the bracelet would break, or so it's like I was still figuring things out. So you don't have to be advanced to be a professional. I just want to point that out to you guys. Okay. Oh, bye Al. Would you consider adding something dark to the back of those stones? Oh yeah, that'd be super cool actually. Because I did go through on some of the stones that we had wrapped up earlier in the week. And I can't, oh, there it is. I keep this bottle of, hey Lydia, how's it going? Like, this one's not the best example, but this one is. This one, how the light kind of transfers through it, you could totally paint it with like a chrome style silver nail polish. Ooh, hypoallergenic wires. I'm gonna add that. To the list before I answer it for you, because typically I use surgical or stainless steel for all of our ear hooks, but I also always bring some sterling silver or silver filled or niobium ear wires for if one of our customers is very particular about what metals they wear. And so now we do offer the sterling and the niobium on an upcharge because it's like $5 for a pair of ear wires. But niobium, I mean, that it's an elemental metal, not an alloy. So it's what they use in like pacemakers and stuff, as far as I understand it. So it's very, very non-reactive. For the most part, we don't have any trouble at all with our stainless steel ear hooks. But I also make some of my own ear hooks out of Parawire, so which is an enameled copper, and I've personally had good success with that. But I always do have, whenever we're at conventions or whenever we're selling on our website, if someone has a request for a particular metal type, we do try to be accommodating, but we let clients know, that there can be an upcharge if you go from silver enameled copper core to sterling silver. That's a significant difference in price between the two. Katrina, that's a really good idea. She says, not a question, but I always label the material for ear wires as someone who's allergic, super important. Definitely. And that's why we err on the side of the surgical and stainless steel, is because if you don't have metal allergies, it's not a problem. But if you do, it makes all the difference on whether or not you can wear, the earrings. So, sourcing for the silver and niobium earrings, I make the sterling silver ones myself because that's cost efficient. And I get niobium ear wires from the Ring Lord. Just because niobium is a much stiffer metal and it is very finicky to work with. And the metal's expensive enough that I don't want to booger it up by doing it myself. So I just pay for the Ring Lord to do it. But it is so rare that somebody wants to actually pay for the niobium. They're usually like, yeah, sterling silver will be fine. But it's good to have options. Wendy says the number one thing I look for is a non-irritating voice. Happy to say you have a great voice and are a great teacher. Well, thank you so much, Wendy. I have to say that I'm glad y'all like the way I sound, because like after editing my videos and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, does she ever shut up? And it's like, no, I don't. So where is it on the periodic table? I don't know. Am I dressed like a chemist? Like, I don't know what you want from me, Kelly. Google it, girl. But no, I don't know. Let's Google it. Shoot. How do I Google on my tablet? Okay. Niobium element. It's NB. Does that give you information? Ooh! Oh, that's so cool. Look, I love the internet, you guys. Wow. Yeah, but element on the periodic table. I'm gonna. Just show me a picture of it. Google. Oh. Can you make it a big picture of it, please? So yeah, it's right there, Kelly. I found it. Okay. Hey DJ, I'm doing really well today actually. Anna says, why can't I get my cup burrs to give me perfectly smooth ending on my ear wires? I'm gonna write down trouble with cup burrs. Okay, so I have had similar results, Anna, with cup burrs, specifically because I think the cup burrs are designed for like a 16 gauge wire. And anything smaller than that, and I just feel like it's like if this is the wire and this is the cup burr, I need a wire that, oh God, there's no way that I can do this without it looking terrible. The cup is just too big to make a solid grip on the end of the wire, because the goal is to take your wire from being squared to being like rounded off. And so if you put the cup burr on there and the cup is too big, it's not doing anything. So you need a smaller cup burr to take care of that 20 gauge. And I've just never found one that's actually small enough. So I use either one of these metal emery boards, or just a metal file, or like an actual emery board or some sandpaper. And I just clean up the ends of the wire and go from there. Um, Linda asks, what is the largest gauge I would go to? Okay, let me write that down, because I'm going to be putting all this stuff in the tutorial too. So, I don't like to go over a 20 gauge, because unless people have their ears actually gauged up a little bit, 18 gauge can feel way too thick and can actually just irritate your ear altogether, because it's like you're starting to gauge your ear. Most commercial ear wires are 21 gauge. So 20 gauge is just a hair thicker, but I feel like it works out pretty well. Anna says, yes, I use a diamond file. Was hoping for something more efficient. Yeah. Yeah. That's how it seems to go, though. Which, honestly, is why, for the most part, I just use store-bought, like, ooh, you could probably put it through the tumbler. I wonder, oh, I need to get, like, a microscope or something to be able to look at the tips of store-bought ear hooks. I'm not going to be able to get that done for tomorrow though. But to just for my own sake, to be able to look at the tips of store-bought ear hooks versus ones that I've made without filing or tumbling, ones that have been filed and the ones that have been tumbled, and kind of see, because if you could just pop them into the tumbler, that'd be great, but it might not work so well for the enameled copper stuff. Kelly says, I had this one lady who's allergic to everything, and I said, well, it's surgical steel for my earrings, and nope, she said it was still irritated her ears. Um, Everybody's different, Kelly. I've known some folks that, like, were like friends of mine, so I got to see their behavior not just when they were a client of mine. And sometimes it's not so much just the material of the ear hook, but if the person just isn't used to wearing earrings and they're like fidgeting with it and tugging it and like messing with it because it's there, sometimes that will have irritated their ear far more than what the material of the metal might. Um, but it's correlation, not causation, that they're wearing the earring and their ears irritated, so they blame it on the earring, but it's really because they wouldn't stop fiddling about with their earrings. Um, hey, Gary. It's Kelly, and this is professional advice that I'd give my younger self. Sometimes it's easier to be like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. That sucks for you. Here's a refund. I'll take the earrings back, clean the ear hooks with alcohol, and put them back out at the next show." Because sometimes it's easier than fighting a client. Sometimes if a person is convinced that they're right, then they're right. So, just Niobium is definitely pricier, Misty. Ooh, Carol says, have you ever used a fish hook sharpener to take the edges off of ear wires? Carol, I did not even know that that was a thing. I'm gonna write that down. Fish hook sharpener? Because I was actually thinking if you could just put it into like a pencil sharpener. hook sharpener. Right on, Kelly. Hey, Sea Glass. Not far from midnight. Oh, goodness. Been a fan since I started 20 months ago. How much planning do you do? I tend to work in flow most of the time. Well, it depends on what we're doing. This week, Randy and I actually set up. Zoomed out. Let me see if I can't fiddle with the tripod. Lansky brand. Right on, we were actually looking at a Lansky knife sharpener. And I'm actually going to put down Carol Roberts, who recommended that. We went through, and since we're working on making production for our booth, we know, and we're starting from, at the time of starting, we had 0. We were at no inventory, and so we did a booth setup and found out how much display space we had and how many items we would need to fill that space, and then how much we would need in back stock if things sold really, really well. Because I always like to show up with way more than what I need, because oftentimes, you know, if we've got something out on display, somebody can be, oh my gosh, I love that. Do you have it in any of these colors? And I might in backstock. So sometimes, even though backstock isn't displayed, that's what we're moving. So this week we decided we're going to do rings. We need to do simple bead. I'm going to do them in 6mm and 20 gauge, 4 metal tones, 5 bead types, and 2 of each. Pendants, I'm doing Oksana's marquee wrap. And I need to do it in 4 metal tones, 2 of each, so that's at least 8. And then there were a couple of other wraps that I was going to do, because pendants is probably where we need the most diversity, because we have the most of those displayed. Randy's been working on bracelets for me this week, and then we have earrings and ear cuffs. So a wizard is never late. Hey, Mandy Lou. I don't know what we're working on yet. Right on. Kelly said she didn't even broach the idea of asking to return them. No, Randy, he doesn't like doing tutorials. So, I mean, I've asked him. And he actually, after this last time of doing chainmail for you guys during the live stream, he was like, well, I mean, I guess I could. But he's got to, like, be in the mood. Time is a construct. Okay, so yeah, let's bust out some of these Oksana marquee style first, because I want to rummage through. Ooh, this one's got a busted tip, so I'm definitely going to be using that one for me. You thought of today? Oh, I don't know. What was the new thing I thought of today? Hey, Paige, how's it going? But I need to learn the bunny ears. What's the bunny ears? Hey, Mithril! Holy crap! I didn't see you come in. Laura says, how do you harden the parawire without breaking the coating? I use a nylon-headed hammer. So, in this one, even starting to get a little weird. I don't know what I was back. It was messing up the tip so bad. But yeah, I use that on the parawire, and you can gentle but lots, as opposed to whacking it, but if like hard but few. So just lots of little, like, kind of tapping can really start to like harden, condense those molecules and work harden your parawire without busting up the coating. We actually did a tutorial showing how I made my jewelry box. But yeah, it kind of, I don't know if you've noticed, but I only wear like the same like 2 or 3 necklaces and 2 or 3 pairs of ear. Oh, that's pretty. Oh my gosh. So how many are we doing of this? And see, this is why I have out plan for whenever it's inventory time, is so that way we have a plan. I'll do the thing. So it's 4 metal tones, 2 of each. So let's do a big and a small for each of the metal tones. Look at that big boy. Right? We're going to be putting, if I have any left, shoot, these are pretty. We're going to be putting some of these up in our website, the shop update. Ooh, C Glass says, I ordered 14 gauge by accident. I didn't realize until I took longer to make something. Do you ever use 14 gauge? I do, and I love it. It's a great for bracelets, really bold earring like charms. Like this design here, we could incorporate a really thick gauge. Like 14 gauge is great for hammering, and using as like the core wires and then doing some other stuff around. So um that's pretty. Okay, we'll do that one too. Hey, Amber Kitty. But it definitely gets a very different feeling stylistically. So bro, did I just see steampunk? Black Hammer says, I had a plan once. I just remember where I put it. Right? Like, I don't know where my day planner is currently. So, what do you add almond extract to, Penny? No, I'm good. I was making a point that it's like I also made a plan and then lost it. Shar says, cool. I googled and answered my own question. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. Anodized and colored titanium and niobium are safe piercings. Good to know. Mm-hmm. Ah, thanks, Mithro. Yes. Like a lot of the times, problems that I had been having that I felt like were holding me back, were because I was trying to do hammering and getting cool effects with 18 gauge, whenever really I'd had a much easier time using, a 14 or possibly even a 12 gauge. Can we see your box of labs? Yeah. Penny Van. That sounds pretty nice. Ooh, this is one that I think I'm going to use. I still want to do a tutorial for like a spinny pendant, but I want to find a lab that's perfect for it. And this one's really good that it's consistently thick and it's pretty from both sides. Ooh, this one would be really good. I don't know if I could groove it though, but that'd be okay. But like this guy's really thin, really translucent. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's in the backs of them are polished as well. So we've got these guys coming up in our upcoming shop update, and we actually have, we'll give y'all a sneaky peeky. English toffee flavor. Okay, there's my Randy. Say hey, Randy. We have the kiln almost fully loaded. So we're going to be fire polishing. This is what Randy and I have been busting on all day today. We're going to be fire polishing all of these moons. And then I think all but like 5 of them, because I'm going to keep like 5 or 6 or 10, I don't know, just for me. You ain't nothing but a Sam dog. He's like, Mom, get that camera out of my face. And go scratch you. Get your scratches. It's okay, buddy. He's ready. The fire extinguisher. Oh, yeah. Okay, back to work. I'm just very distractible today. But yeah, all of the other moons that we can get made, we'll be posting in Monday's shop update as well. So we still are not shipping internationally. It's just we sent one thing off to someone who's like a longtime client of ours that was understanding of it may not get there. It's going to be expensive, and either way, it's going to take a long time, and it still hasn't arrived. So until that straightens out, we're going to continue not shipping stuff just because I don't want to waste y'all's time, and I don't want, to be losing cabs and stuff across the Pacific, or Atlantic, whichever direction they go. Okay, so I believe, but yeah, we'll be showing more labs and cabs and things in our Monday shop update, where we also do a giveaway, guys, of our $10 booty box. So yeah, we're gonna be working in 20 gauge. Be pulling off about. Now this is based off of an Oksana Crafts tutorial, the Marquee crisscross wire wrap tutorial. So I highly recommend you all go and check that out. I'm going to be making some modifications because I followed pretty close to her tutorial when I was making the pendants, or no, the necklaces, but as the pendants, I'm going to try to add, like, make it to where it'll lay flat on our display. So I got you, C-Class. Now when we put the moons in the shop update, our Happy Crafter Club will be the first to know that because we actually sent them an email on Sunday as soon as the stuff goes up. But we do have a few people who camp out our website and find out whenever we do go live on Sunday. But we can't be like, yes, it'll be 6 p.m. on Sunday, because sometimes we have it done by noon and it's up, and sometimes it takes until 8 a.m. on Monday. So, but we're shooting for it on Monday. Linda says, what does your booty box consist of? The $10 booty box that we send out has 3 cabochons and like a sticker and a coupon card. And we cover the shipping that's if you sign up for our $10 membership level. And so that's what we give in the giveaway as well, which I think is a pretty sweet deal. We've got a video up, I think, somewhere on our YouTube channel of what you can expect in your booty boxes. So I'm going to be using my stick mandrel. And I'm just making... This isn't how I do this. What am I doing? Come on, let's think. Ooh, Mariah asks, where do you get your labradorite from? A variety of places. We wholesale some of them from different lapidaries. Some of them we've had in our collection from Gem and Mineral shows years and years ago. It's just basically wherever we can, but the whole idea is we want to curate a collection on our website. That way, whenever you order your labs from us, we want to make sure that you are getting good labs. Whereas whenever we purchase wholesale, sometimes only about 25% of them look good like this. So I use the other 75% in my own work, or in giveaways, or just what have you, and then put the prettiest stuff up in our shop for sale. So I make my own bail here by doing a double loop over my stick mandrel and then just twisting all the way down. I want this to go the length of, like, we want to come to like right here on our lab. So like this one, the reason I'm keeping this one is because when we got it through shipping, the tips broke off. So we can, Joe. We can totally groove these. And that's whenever we get some posted to the website, they'll have the groove option available for any of them that are groovable. Because like ones like this one, this guy's way too thin. I would not offer a grooving option on this one. Whereas this guy here, if the tips weren't chipped off, he would have been a very good candidate. Ooh, Lynn asks, do you give private wire wrapping lessons? I don't. The whole goal with our channel was to try to be as give everything away for free as possible. So that's actually why we do the live streams and stuff too. So if you have a particular question, you can actually ask it during the live stream or during our after party or anything like that, and that way we can address it openly and publicly. Because if you have this question, there's likely a lot of other people with a with very similar questions. Ooh, hey Dianica, she says, can you grind down the chips? I could grind them down. If a stone is prone to chipping, especially on my grinder, because it's a really like coarse grit diamond bit, if it's already chipped, I don't want to risk chipping away more. If I had a polishing bit or something like that, I would smooth it down and polish it back up, but we don't have those resources just yet. Now, Lynn, we are hoping that whenever the world kind of settles back into normal, we'll be able to offer in-person classes at different events that we travel to. Like, I'd like to start traveling to, if Bead and Button Show were still a thing, that'd be one of them. But, stuff like that, like gem and mineral shows and things of that sort. So that way we can help you one on one in person, but we wouldn't charge beyond the materials that it would be to take the class, anyways. Okay, there's gonna be some loud noises. I'm gonna come in here. I'm just holding this like so. Did I even do enough? I'm so sorry, you guys. Like, I'm having a really good day, but my brain is not on board. Okay, loud noises. Now this wire that I'm using is buffering. My brain is buffering. It is enameled parawire, so it's copper core with an antique copper coating, like colored coating on it, and I'm able to hammer it with like no problem. So I'm coming through and I'm just twisting the bail so that I can actually get my hammer in there nice and close. So I'm trying to not get my fingy. There we go. And now from here, I'm going to be really careful because I don't want to break its little head off. There we go. And I'm turning it back to where it's perpendicular to the spine of our pendant. Ah, right on. Anna says, I'm now a Happy Crafter subscriber. Will I get a notice about the shop this Sunday? Yes. Be sure to even add us to your address book, possibly, just to keep us from going into your spam folder, because oftentimes we send 2 emails on Sundays to our Happy Crafters. We do our Sunday tutorial newsletter, and then we'll do our later in the day. So sometimes it'll shuffle us over into the spam, so that's something to watch out for. Ooh, Katrina says, is the coupon in the booty boxes a better deal than the 20% off shop in the... No. It's, no, we put the email in the newsletter for the Happy Crafter Club as well as the boxes. That way, some people might ignore the emails but get the box and pay attention to it. Some people might get the box and ignore it, and follow along with the one in the email. So, but we try to not spam you guys. But sometimes we've got just a lot going on and we're very loud about it. Okay, so now we've done the bail and the spine. Ah, right on, Enchanted. There's my stick mandrel. Okay, I'm going to use the thickest part of my stick mandrel, which is like, ew, what's on the end of it? One of those peanut butter? Jesus Christ, Vaughn, get your life together. I'm trying so hard to be a professional. I put pants and eyelashes on and like painted my fingernails. And then I guess I ate peanut butter over here and there's just dried up peanut butter all over everything. Ah, right on, Penny. Well, we try to keep it really straight to the point. Oh, that one's gonna have a... Well, I was gonna... It'll have a double. I was getting carried away. So... I've done the twist, and now I'm gonna hammer it again. Oh, that's gonna be all sorts of goobered up, though, isn't it? We'll see. We'll see. Oh, I love it. Okay. Penny, I need babysat, like, constantly. I lost the cat. There it is. Oh, thanks, Ross. Well, I'm trying... No. Oh, it's super durable. Thank goodness. Whew. Okay. Here comes the heater. Here comes the sun. Dun, 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 dun. And then, so we've just put this into that loop that we made. And I'm... Oh, hey, pretty kitty. What's up? I know, it's cuddle time, isn't it? Okay. Hey, Crafty, how's it going? So I'm just bending it up, and I want to make sure that our bale, I don't want our bale too far above where the stone stops, but I don't want it, layered underneath it. Penny says, I can't babysit you. I had peanut butter all over the side of my hand this morning trying to get to the bottom of the jar. Oh, and then, okay, this is the number one thing, y'all, that I always have to watch out for, and it's going to be too blurry to see. Um, but where I had hammered the wire, it's pinched now and broke. So I'm going to put this over into my scrap drawer. And we're going to try again. And I'm going to focus this time, and we can do it. It's such a pretty sunset outside. Okay. So I can still hammer it. I just need to not hammer it as enthusiastically. And before I forget how much wire I used, I'm going to pull off another thing. Mischievous teehees intensify. Which, how much wire are we using? So there's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, about 17 inches. Okay. So, first thing we do, we're making the bale. I'm on the second size in on our stick mandrel. And I'm going around twice. So it's kind of like the end of a paper clip. And now from here, right on, Kelly. And you can always holler at me. I'll always try to at least make up a number for you and be like, it was about this much. Watching the Vaughn. The Vaughn is calibrating. And really, I guess you don't have to hammer this part, but it's fun. Loud noises. So I'm just hammering much more lightly because it's what happens is at that cross point where the wires are overlapping each other, they make it's now 2 wires thick. So if I'm hammering it, it's actually denting both of those wires to be half of their normal thickness so that they can lay together. In that way. So that is just something to watch out for. So again, I'm going to bring this around, thickest part of my mandrel, and I want to make sure that the cross on this side is the same as the cross on that side. This is 20 gauge, and I'm just going to do the 1 cross this time. Well, I did like the 2 crosses. I'm just going to go to like, oh, I love that. Okay. Same lab as what we've been using. I think this one's blurst. We'll see. And I'm just setting it along the center line down the spine. Now also, I just want to reiterate to you guys, I highly recommend watching Oksana's tutorial on this because she's an absolute goddess. Peanut butter. Okay. So we just want that nestled in there so that it's just holding on. And then we're going to come around, guiding those wires, and I want to have it exiting at the same latitude on the pendant because that's going to really help it to stay looking symmetrical. So holding on the back side, I want to make sure that that spine is actually centered, and I want to hold our wires so that they're actually crossing in the same point. In Oksana's tutorials, she says you can use tape for this, and that's a really good idea. So you can just come around, and sometimes it doesn't quite look right despite your best efforts, so just tweak it as necessary. Now also on Oksana's, she has, this is turned flat, so you're able to like do this really cool thing with the wires and bring it through. But we're doing our own thing today, so I'm just going to circle this once twice, and thrice around the neck. If this is the head and that's the body, that's the neck. And I know we're super zoomed out, but I need it like that to be able to work. Oh, I can zoom in manually. What? I'm sorry, guys. Hey, Yvette, how's it going? Okay, coming up. And then I'm just going to wrap this same wire, or different wire, around the same spot. So there's once, twice, and then we could do it nice and sleek. We could do a little spiral. You could totally sneak a little bead in right there if you wanted. But I'm just going to bring it around, keep it nice and sleek. I've been watching so many tutorials on YouTube because I'm trying to I'm in a little bit of a creative funk, and my brain is hungry, like, for learning things. And so I've been devoting some serious watch time to Oksana, Lily Tree, Mithril, who tickles me freaking pink that she popped into my channel. I was like, I had to keep myself from fangirling a little bit. I've been revisiting some tutorials by ZD Artisan, and those are just the names that I can remember off the top of my head that I've been gorging on today. So, and then I'm going to do a nice little split there on that. So, and that is, but again, these guys aren't quite lined up, and that might be perfect for you, but maybe you hate it, or your clients might want something different, or maybe you're just trying to make things symmetrical. So I'm going to come do words. I'm going to try to make this part be a little lower and maybe this part be a little higher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and I'm going to go like that. And I just bumped it down a little bit. Stuff is still centered up. It's just, it has that little bend there on the back. And I think that is all right. So there is one pendant. Bye, Sea Glass. Thanks for hanging out. Yes, CLS Designs is awesome. Well, thanks, Crafty. Okay, so we're coming through, doing the same thing on the small one, because as we're making inventory, it's, ooh, that's too far. I'm going to be doing antique copper, I'm going to be doing vintage bronze, and then I'm going to do 2 of each size in silver, because silver just tends to sell better out of our booth. Except for when it doesn't. Kelly Jones has really good tutorials. Fantasia Elegance. Like, I don't know, it's just like, I mean, you don't want to watch the same TV show every day. You don't want to read the same book over and over. You don't want to, like, YouTube has such a wealth of information and teachers and all sorts of stuff that it's like, sometimes even if it's like somebody that, like, maybe they're not my preferred teacher, I will still watch them just because you never know what you might learn from somebody. And it's literally free. All I have to do is take the time. And what I've been doing, because I think I'm hyper today, is I was trying to get my steps in. So I was like marching in place and like flailing my arms around so it would actually register on my Fitbit. I think I did too many twists. No, that'll do. I just put the video I was watching and all the videos I was watching into 1.5 speed because I was like, I need to learn as much as possible now. And and like, come on, go. And so yeah, so that's what I've been up to today. Hey, Kat, I'm doing good. How are you today? Ross says I'm short on supplies, but I have so much I want to make. That struggle is super real. I'm gonna whack it one more time, and now we're gonna hammer the spine. Just a little bit. Ow. I'm okay. And now I'm feeling like I'm on 1.5 speed. Like, I need to calm down before I crash. Okay, so that's definitely a little longer. Well, let's try it. Let's try and see. Fortunately, Parawire is affordable enough that I can still take some chances and do some risky stuff, even if I don't know whether it's going to work out or not. So again, I sit it in the loop and then I fold up. Hey, Cricket, how's it going? Coming back in. Oh, thank you so much, Linda. Ooh, oh, I didn't know that, Joette. So again, trying to get that cross to happen. There we are. Hey, Elijah, how's it going? I just see it. I'll figure it out. What are you figuring out? Oh no, it's February, isn't it? Today, Marie, I'll do a new calendar for today. Though, honestly, all of that information is exactly the same. If it's a Monday, we're having a shop update. If it's a Thursday, we're having a tutorial. If it's a Friday, we're having a live stream. If it's a Sunday, we're having a tutorial. So, for the most part. To dungeons deep and caverns old. We don't gotta type in all caps. Getting crafty, we see ya. Making chainmail hearts. Oh no, Elijah. Ouch. Well, soldier on. You've got this. Tucking that end in. Oh, I don't know. I might be. No, I'm in live chat. I'm in top chat on my phone, though. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to be helpful to you, Crafty. Getting crafty with those. Ooh, hey, Jen. She says you're doing an awesome job. Oh, well, thanks. She says, I like your chainmail work. I'm building Viking armor for myself and know how much effort it takes. Greetings from Germany. Yeah, it's definitely a bunch of work, but totally worth it. It's so fun. Oh no, Penny. Using a damn pencil eraser. You are resilient and fierce, Penny. Yeah, I actually made myself go outside and stand in the sun today for a little bit to be like, vitamin D. Something's wrong with my cicadas. I keep sleeping all day. Let me scooch these guys. Okay, so there's those two. Now let's rummage up. Do we have some 20 gauge? No, both of those are 18. Is this my turn? No, that's 18 as well. And that's 18. I think. Am I? Uh-oh. I got. Uh-oh. I'm all out of 20 gauge vintage bronze. Huh. Well, let's see how this design does in 18 gauge. Hey, Wise, how's it going? Yeah, see, this is why I stay zoomed out, is because I don't mean to keep wandering out of frame. But here we are. So I think that wire length was pretty good. So we're going to do another 17 inches. But we're going to try an 18 gauge this time. Oh no! Iris says, I tried getting vitamin D. All it did was make me more tired, and I've spent another day mostly reading D&D, races, and more. Very cool. Uh-oh, I shuffled them all up. Okay, that'll be fine. So I'm going to do these two in... Man, that's not much of a size difference. Oh well, it'll be fine. Crafty, getting crafty with Dove, you can send us personal notes through emails back to earthcreations@yahoo.com. Okay, so now come through. We're doing 18 gauge this time because I'm all out of 20 gauge. Do you post your show or con schedule anywhere? We will be posting it up onto our website, hopefully later today, actually, because I need to update the website, or no, the website calendar. But we are only vending 2 events this year. It is Anime St. Louis and DragonCon. Okay, so we've made our 2-loop veil. This would actually look really cool. I think on the next one, I'm going to do a 3-loop veil and see how it goes. Okay, hammering that out a little bit. This color is the vintage bronze. Favorite thing about Oksana's tutorials, which that's it's the crisscross or marquee crisscross tutorial, is the one that I'm basing this very closely off of. Like, I've changed so little, I would not even really consider it a different design at all. But a lot of Oksana's designs are very quick and time and material efficient for if you're wanting to make inventory for in your booth or for your website or anything like that. Okay, so let's check one more time what our favorite angle of, favorite angle is that way. Hey Phyllis, how's it going? Okay, it definitely helps things to sit flatter to the stone to hammer it. So I'm actually going to, oh Penny, okay, I'm actually gonna twist it so that it's flat to the angle that we were hammering at. And then I'm gonna hammer up to the loop. Loud noises again. Just that really does make a big difference in how the stone sits flat on the spine. And then I'm going to untwist it just a bit. Hey Kim, I'm doing really well. How are you today? Okay, I'm just going to position it like that. Then I'm going to fold that up. Oh, I definitely think this would work with brownstones. In fact, we may try it on these 2 bad boys. They're oval. That's kind of, it's like a it's like a marquee that just kept going. Okay. Now the thing is with the 18 gauge wire, it definitely stacks up to a noticeable difference in thickness. Like, it's much bulkier than the 20 gauge. So something that you could totally do, that we might try on this one, is to take your wire and do a little bit of a bend. And then I'm going to come in on this side and take my wire and do another bend. And then we could wrap with a half round wire. Let me grab that. Okay, I've grabbed the half round in the 3 colors that we're going to be using. Ah, hey cats. I only had the one coffee. I have to love on this cat for a sec, you guys. Come here. Let's have a kitty session. I love you. Who's my sweet baboo? Who's my sweet baboo? I know. Well, here. Maybe if we go like this. I know what you want. There you go. I'm going to turn on her heated blankie. I was going to try to keep it clean, but I cannot deny you. There you go. You wanna? She's like, no, we have a deal. I love on you, and then you give me treats. Because I've been bribing her with food to pay attention to me. Which honestly is the same strategy I use with Randy, and it's been working pretty well. Okay, back to work. Have you tried using half round on the back to keep both wires together, and they'll be the same height rather than you cross it on top? That's a really good idea, Mithril. I'll have to try that on the next one. That's a really good tip. I think I'm a lot slower at wrapping with the half round than I am at just like twisting. Did I actually? No, I didn't take it out of the thing. So I'm going to use, like, what is this? 6 inches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just do 5 inches and see. I used to try to skimp on the half round wire by not removing it from, like, not just working off the spool. I would get the spool so tangled up that I'm like, it's better to just have little scrap bits. Okay, so I've crossed that over. Well, I'm really glad that you've come into the chat to hang out, Crafty. Okay, I'm going to try flattening it. Ah, right on. Yeah. So just being gentle with it as you smush it down to make sure that your wires then land shoulder to shoulder the way that you might want. And then I'm going to try to use up this little bit of tail that's right here. Smoosh. And then bring that around. And then coming down and smoosh. I always like to have my ends of my half round be between the wire and the stone. That way it won't snag your skin or your clothing or anything like that. Hey Anne, how are you doing today? And I'm gonna do 5 wraps. Just, I don't know, that's a nice round number, I guess. I mean, even though it's not, but still. It just feels like, yeah, 5, why not? It's nice and substantial. Actually, I think I like 3 better, but it's fine. And I'll be able to use that other piece on the other. There is another. Okay, popping that in. And now from here, I kind of want to use the rest of the half round to join them together on the front. I mean, do the same twist instead of crossing at the back. Oh! Yeah! That's a good idea, Mithril. Like this, or... Connect both wires with the twist. Crimp back to the front. No, not like that. Okay. Connect both wires together with the twist. Right on. Ooh, Kat says, Vaughn, do you have a destashing Facebook page where people can exchange their art stash? I do not. But I think there already are some good Facebook pages for that. And then now Droma had suggested doing a twist, and I think I brought him in a little too soon. In one of, I think, last week's live stream actually. Ooh, yeah, a surfboard. I love that, Gary. And I'm gonna come in now. The problem with here though is I don't know. I'm gonna hammer this. Excuse me. To make it be. I don't think I'm gonna be able to hammer this, but I am gonna just squish it back up to the top. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, no, shameless cross promotion. Please, everybody, go subscribe to Mithril. Like, their tutorials are next level. So, and I'm not being paid to say this or anything. Like, this wasn't pre-planned. I had no idea that Mithril was gonna be here. But, like, straight up, that's goals. I absolutely love her aesthetic as well. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. And I always feel like I'm making the necks messier than they need to be. With all my accounts? I mean, that's on you, Gary. But yes, probably. Gonna pop that over into the scrap bin, and then I'm gonna smush where we just cut back down. Yes. Mithril, I may be remembering wrong, but are you a lefty? Sabaeus has dropped something twice if Mithril's behind you. It's cute that you think I can count Sabea. Yes. So for all of our left-handed folks, that comes in really, really handy to be able to see her weave and wrap and stuff as a left-hander. Oh, wow. I like that, Ross. But yeah, nice and solid and just a little bit of wire. Oh, who was asking earlier for if you're a noob and want to learn how to, start making pendants, just get some 18 gauge wire because you can do a whole lot. And you don't have to have fancy labs or anything like that. Like, you could probably wrap like fish tank glass or marbles or pretty river stones or different things like that. Sabea just trying to get some super durables. There we go. So there's that one. Okay. So now we have another 17-inch length of 18 gauge wire, and I am on my, I think it's like an 8mm size barrel of my stick mandrel, and I'm going to do 3 wraps this time. And then let's check. This one's just about the same size as the other one. Yeah, not to brag, but we have like the best community on YouTube over here, so I try to send them out to do their good works wherever I think there's stuff to like, because definitely straight up Mithril's got good tutorials. Oh, loud noises. So we've hammered that bit. I'm going to put it back on the mandrel, and I'm going to hold onto this core wire here, like the spine, and I'm actually going to continue twisting around to make the bail perpendicular to the spine. Yes, this is a 4-inch steel block. I really like the one with the rubber base. Just, it does help to muffle a little bit. Not so much here on my drafting table, but on my metalsmithing table. That is, so I'm going to zoom out for you guys real quick. So this is my drafting table. It is literally like a drafting table. And then that's my metalsmithing table. So this is so much more solid. So with the rubber block, it helps muffle it. It keeps things from jumping around as much, I think. Oh, Stephanie, I think my bail is perpendicular to my spine too. Ember, I didn't even see you down there. My baby girl. She's an absolute empress. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, yes, mother's a bug. Come here, you little gooby. With her stink eye. She always gives me the stink eye. She's like, where's Man Beast? Yeah, Yvette and Jason came and visited. And she, like, fell in love with Yvette's Man Beast. Like, no other human will ever do. She's like, he's not here. Listen. Okay, so just crossing around. And I like to try to continue in the same direction. So to just make it be like the twist was there, it was just bigger, and now it's continued the pattern. I think I'm going to do this one. Yeah. No, I'm going to do it twice. Make it spicy. Right? Kit. It's so nice that cats tolerate us in their homes. Indeed. So yeah, just 4 little whacks. It's just enough to get that flattened out so the light flashes on it, but not so much that the wire is going to be biting through itself. And let's test and see which, oh gosh, this one's pretty both ways. You know, it's a pretty symmetrical marquee piece. I'm going to bend the wire and then hold it in the frame to compare. I just don't know. I genuinely cannot decide. I think I like this way better. Okay, so I'm bracing quite firmly to keep the stone from slipping. I want that spine centered. And then I'm going to bend that around. And then I'm going to try to get this wire lined up on that same latitude and do that bend. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll come in. And I'm just going to grab, these are pliers that I got from Rio Grande. And I'm just going to hold right off to the side, and I'm going to bend up, and then I'm going to grab over here on the other side, and I'm going to bend up. Ooh, Anna asks, what color chains do you use for your color wrapped pendants? So this one here is the vintage bronze, and I've found most stuff that's in an antique brass tone, like this Blue Moon beads chain here, matches pretty well. I typically get all of my wire from the Ring Lord. So I'd be using, this is their 20 gauge or 22 gauge. I'm not certain which one. I think it's their 20, yeah, it's a 22 gauge wire. It's like $3 for this little baggie of wire. And then this one is their 19 gauge. And I'll use this for the bulk of the necklace. And then I'll use this for the extender chain. That way, this one actually broke. Because I think I was playing with the cat with it. But so that's how it transitions together. But this way, whenever it's in my booth, the clasp broke as well. But normally if the clasp worked, we could hook it anywhere along that chain. And this is what we give away for free with our auction sales whenever we sell a pendant. And then in our booth, we add chain for an upcharge, because oftentimes people will have like a favorite chain and they just want a pendant to put on it. That one chain will fit anywhere from an 18 to like a 25-inch necklace, and then we can always, make one custom to be shorter or longer too. Oh, thanks, Jason. But yeah, on the Ringlord website, the vintage bronze, gosh, even the back is so pretty. Parawire matches their antique brass, and they have a bright copper and they have an antique copper as well that both match just perfect. Like this right here is the antique copper wire from Parawire, and this, or no, antique copper from the Ringlord, and this one right here is antique copper from Parawire. So the chain is from the Ringlord, the wire is from Parawire, and they match together really well. But the nice thing about this is it is enameled iron. So if I could find my pliers, it is magnetic. So, which can be frustrating, but it doesn't turn my skin green the way that just bare copper does. Bye, Crafty. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hey, Fredea, how are you doing? And now I'm coming through, and we're gonna wrap. Okay, and I'm just gonna do that one wrap first, so that I can start fiddling about with these wires and try to get them sitting into the position that I want before doing a bunch of wraps. Because since we just did that one, we can still really cinch it down and get things smushed away. There we go, tuck in the tail wire towards the back. I think I'm going to do this one with just 3. Though I don't know if I feel like that is secure enough. I'm going to do 5. I can't just do like... Right on, Penny. Well, it's lovely to hear from you. I hope you heal up speedily and well. Get my pliers untangled from each other. We're going to do the old snip and snip and smush and smush. So last try on picking to see which side I think is prettier. See, that way is very pretty, but I think having it flipped over, we get a little bit more of that gold. Yeah, I'm going to do it like that. Okay, so now I'm going to bend each of these out. So, and again, to let you guys know, if you just popped in, this is based very, very closely, excuse me, off of an Oksana's Crafts tutorial. That's the Marquee Crisscross wire wrapping tutorial. I highly recommend y'all go check that out and try your hand at it if you haven't. And if you have, ouch, smack your jewelry and go try it anyways. Because it's so much of what we're doing with the new wire wrapping masterclass is I've been revisiting all of this stuff that is like a take it for granted. I've just done it the same way I've always done it because that's how I've always done it sort of way. And I'm revisiting um making wire wrapped bead links. One of the most fundamental basic techniques for jewelry making. I've been revisiting making my own ear wires, making my own clasps, and finding ways that the way I've always done it, I started these habits and ways of doing things back when I was just first learning how to make jewelry. So now to revisit these things under a lens with a little bit more knowledge and a little bit more experience than what I had originally had, I'm having a lot of like really good ideas that I'm like, ooh, yeah, I gotta try that. And I think by revisiting the basics is helping me to come out of whatever creative funk um, I find myself in. So you are never too old to learn something new or too experienced to go back to the basics. I'm just gonna, with the 18 gauge, I don't mind a bit, just doing a single wrap, and then I'm gonna snip. Also, that half round that I was using is 18 gauge half round. I'm just gonna bring those little ends together, and then I'm gonna come in and split just a little bit the bail. Ooh, Leaf says, hello, hey Leaf. You don't have any adverse effects from hammering the coated wire? I've demonstrated this before, but I will demonstrate it again with how durable parawire is. A lot of folks use, and I'm not throwing shade or whatever the kids on the internet say nowadays, but artistic wire will crack on you if you are hammering it. Sometimes you don't even have to be hammering it. You can just come in and turn and do like a tight spiral and the coating will flake off, which is not great. And so what I like to do with parawire, I've never had problems in the base metal tones that I use. I've heard of some other folks having like have emailed me and been like, well, I had this color flake on me. And it's like if your wire maybe got frozen during shipping or super, super hot during shipping or being left on your porch, that may affect how the enameling is bound to the metal and whether or not it becomes brittle. Um, but I'm just making a little leaf here or a little spiral and loud noises. So I'm gonna count down from 10. If you haven't turned your volume down, I can't help you. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I'm impatient. 2 and 1. Okay, loud noises. I'm gonna whack the heck out of this. So that was, I think, 10 really solid whacks with no cracking. I'm going to check here on the edges. No cracking. I'm going to flip it over and beat the heck out of the other side. So loud noises again. Whoa. Haha. Super durable. Wait, I don't even know if that's the right side. And oh, it is. And I lost count. Okay. Normally, I can't imagine why you would be whacking your wire more than this. And still, we have a lot of spreading. I'm not cracking around the edges yet. Still no cracking. And it's gone. And I'm going to rub it, and there's still no flaking. And so, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like it's like Parawire speaks for itself. Now and also it's much stiffer now. So uh but yeah, so I stand by Parawire that for their price and their consistency, if ever I do have a bit flake, it is not the end of the world. And I can't think of the last time that I had some flake. I think I hammered out some 16 gauge in the titanium tones. Let's see, those might be a little bit more, oops, a little bit more finicky to being, to cracking. The silver plated ones might. Okay, so I'm just making another spiral. Right? Kit says, I know I hear so many people say you can't hammer coated wire and that the coating wears off really quickly, and that hasn't been my experience with the Parawire. Same, but it's really hard to break past. I mean, because how long has artistic and zebra wire been on the market? I know since before I've started crafting, and I've only been crafting since 2008. So um, and so I'm really glad to see Parawire gaining in popularity, and I'm doing as much as I can to spread the word because so much of the time when new wire wrappers are experiencing poor results with their crafting efforts, I've found more often than not it is a direct result of the materials that they're using as opposed to any innate lack of ability. With Parawire, it's not holding you back, and bare copper and sterling silver and stuff like that as well. But we're talking purely enameled wires here. Um, it's not holding you back, whereas um, if you get like no brand stainless steel or coated iron wire from like the craft section at like Walmart or something, and it has a lot of spring back and it cracks and flakes or it bends or it gets brittle or it work hardens too quickly, a lot of those things are going to be detrimental to your learning process. Whereas if you just like on our website, we sell full spools like for like $7. And you can get these guys, I think, on Parawire when they have them in stock for like 30 to 50, possibly. Don't quote me on it. It's been a minute since, and they last long enough that I forget how much the price is. So, right on. Elijah says, I agree. If I'm not using Rio based metals, Parawire is the only coated wire I will use. Galvanized steel is very hard to work with. Okay, loud noises again. We're going to do another test sample because I think with their silver plated colors, I think you might get more cracking and flaking because there's a silver plating over the copper. And I don't know, like I'm speculating entirely. I have no evidence for this. I'm suspicious. Okay, wacky time. Pow pow, loud noises coming in. Sorry, Sam. I made the dog jump. Okay, I think that was 20 hits, but I'm not good at counting. Okay, I've got a little bit. No, that was just where I had started to cut it with my clippers and then moved down. Okay, I've got a little bit of flaking here on this top edge. Maybe. Let me see. I might just be imagining. I don't know if that was wire or my skin. So it may. So I'm going to say that the silver plated colors, I wouldn't go hammering as hard, but we could have stopped at 10 and had a very similar result. So just be mindful of that. Okay, what are we working? Okay. Ooh, we get to do the silver now. And I'm going to do these in 20 gauge. Just because I like that dainty look. Where'd my end of my wire go? Here we are. Ooh, Linda says another question. What wires do not turn your fingers green? Well, you'll notice I've been working, at least touching, for the past hour and a half, if I haven't been working consistently, with the vintage bronze and the antique copper, which if I were working with copper this oxidized on the spool, my fingers would be green right now. So Parawire does not turn my fingers green. It does not turn my skin green, anything like that. So I didn't mean for this to turn into a Parawire commercial, but I really do recommend them, you guys. It's not a paid sponsorship. I just have enthusiasm. Ooh, hey, Lavender. Howdy, been lurking while I'm working. I've thought of a question for you. What would you do if you could no longer do what you currently do? You know, I was actually thinking about if my thumb stopped working, just because, that would suck. I think if I could no longer do what I would currently do, I'd figure out some other way to make messes and be crafty. Like, I think when my arthritis gets bad enough that I just cannot anymore, I'm probably going to take up pottery. Because I need to keep my hands moving, period. I don't know. Like, crafter's going to craft. Like, you can't. I'd be one of those folks holding paintbrushes in my mouth, like painting on anything close to me. Drop something twice. His pair of wires behind you, Sisabea. But I don't know. I know one day I'm going to be legally blind. LASIK may be able to stave that off for me, but and it'll start just in my right eye. Like, that one's already like really close to being legally blind. So I'm gonna start trusting Randy a lot more to tell me what colors stuff are and if I did it right, because I'll be wire wrapping blind. I think so long as my heart is in it, or rather, it's in my heart, I'll keep crafting, even when I technically can't anymore. I don't believe in can't. There's always, if you have it in your heart to do something, to create something, to do the craft or the thing, everything's just an obstacle. And obstacles are for overcoming. Wow, right on, Svea. Oh, Erin says I started wire wrapping because of arthritis. It has helped me more than anything else. Very cool. But I was watching, I think it's Jewelry Tips Repost is the Instagram account, but they were showing someone, I guess they had lost mobility in their thumb, or maybe they couldn't grasp anymore, but they had actually duct taped a tool to their hand that they could then go through and just hammer on the end of the tool, and they would just move their hand around to and I think they were like stamping metal, and I was like, oh, that'll work for when my hands stop working and I still want to do leather working. So but I don't know, I hope I get to keep doing this forever. As long as there's a me, I'll be doing stuff for sure. Okay, I'm gonna twist that just a little bit more. I hope I didn't hammer too much. Phyllis says you'll continue to be crafting. Keeping your hands moving is best for arthritis. And that's what I've always heard. Like, I've always hung out with, like, just the age group of, like, if there was, like, at the different events and stuff that I would go to, if there was a gaggle of grandmas, I'd be over there, like, sitting next to them being like, hey, ladies. Like, just, like, I've spent my whole life waiting to get to be a grandma and like sitting there knitting and just like watching people run around and having fun and stuff. So it's it hanging, like, I've picked up a lot of really good tips over the years, because they'll be like, oh, your young hands, and I'm like, yep. But even just at 30 something, my hands are starting to, like, my thumbs cramp up more than they used to. So Kit says I have problems with double vision. I think that'll get me in the end, as I can only work on small stuff for 30 minutes. Right on. Well, it's gonna have to take you fighting, I'm sure. It's alive, Jen. Oh, thanks, Jenny. And I think that's the nice thing about being a teacher, is as long as there's breath in me, I'll be trying to be helpful to people, whether it's about gardening or yoga. Which, by the way, I just recorded day 189 for a year of yoga for over on my Monster vlog. If any of you guys like flopping around on a yoga mat and want to do that with me virtually. Again, there's no way to say these things without it just sounding weird. Yep, Joe says if you don't use it, you lose it. Old saying. It rings true, though. Is this the one I measured against? Yes, I think so. Let me double check which way. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yep. It's important, and I forget this often, which is why I'm reiterating it now. Try different lighting angles. So, because from right here, this angle looks muted at the top. Oh, you're good, what you know? Ooh, taco meat. So from this angle, with the light hitting it, that's not the best angle for it. But from this angle, there's a sound dog. So always check your lighting angles. The same problem. I work with a lighted magnifier, and sometimes even that's not enough. I don't know what I'll do if I can't craft. I don't know. Maybe use thicker wire. Like, because I'm thinking, I was like, well, whenever I don't feel like crocheting and like having to really pay close attention to the stitches, I just use like bulky yarn and like knitting needle or crochet needles thicker than my fingers. Same for knitting. And I was like, yeah, but bigger wire doesn't always translate into easier. Oh wow, right on, Anna. I've seen a big difference in my hands over the years. Fingers tend to lock for a second or two, especially while making. Yeah. Is this a... Hey, gay. Okay. She says, if you keep doing tutorials and you're blind, and I keep watching them when I'm blind, you'll literally be the blind leading the blind. Let's do it. Yeah, Mary Hart. Okay, so I'm just getting in here. I think I'm going to do this on this one too, see how it sits with the 20 gauge. Now, even though we're still using 20 gauge wire, I'm still going to be like on the other one that we did the back with the half round, I used 18 gauge wire. On the 20 gauge, I'm still going to be using the 18 gauge half round. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I feel like I'm just yelling numbers into the void. Oh, that's awesome, cats. Okay, so now we will use our... My hands are cold. Oh, that's a good idea, Mithril. She says, try to keep a mirror in front of you and put it on your chest to check where it shines more. It's no Ingrid. Like, honestly, I'm really grateful for these live streams because they keep me, believe it or not, on task. Like, the past 3 weeks, I think, has it been? Yeah, the past 3 weeks we've actually met our production numbers for being able to fill our booth up. Now, I really hope that whatever we make sells, because it's kind of, and I'm sure a lot of y'all experience this too, but if you have online sales, like if you have an Etsy shop or a website or something, but you also do booth vending at like craft shows and different things, it can feel like, you know, why am I going to make this thing, put in the time and effort and materials to make something just to hide it until I can show it to people in person, when I could be posting it in, you know, getting my bills paid, hopefully, online. So that's where I'm kind of really hoping that it's not going to be a misplaced time and material investment, because I've had folks requesting, being like, "Ooh, is that for sale?" And I've had to be like, "No, it's for our booth." Because it's, if we're very blessed by y'all, and that I don't know, like, maybe once we get the base inventory for the booth set up, we'll be able to split production and have some of it be for our online store and some of it for our booth. We'll have to see. But I don't know if I trust me to be able to get production up. Oh, good luck with your surgery, Joette. Double checking before we seal the wire in. Now this one, I think 3 could work. We're gonna do 5 anyways, and we'll try 3 maybe. No, yeah, I like 5 better. It's on the back side. I want it to be stable and sturdy, and the 5 just looks more balanced to me. Ooh. Oh, Erica says, do you have a large board for your booths advertising your YouTube? Yeah, we used Vistaprint, and got a banner made with like pictures and stuff on it. Probably need to get a new one that's a little bit more updated. Ooh, Witch and Gnome says, are you going to do a revamp on your booth displays? On a couple of them. I need to make more bracelet cones and necklace cones. Just not leafy, but like just super simple. Like we recently did a video of our booth tour that kind of shows we had just revamped. Like fall 2019, we were finished up with our event schedules and we were gearing up for vending in 2020 by redoing our whole booth. And we have not vended since then. So, right on, cats. Good luck to you. I think that'll be great. And I'm just twisting that around. Following along with the Oksana style of just doing a single twist and then tucking the end. That way it's not snagging on anything. Well, not a twist, but a wrap. And I've repeated this a few times, but just in case folks just came in, I'm following along with, super durable. This is very closely based on a tutorial by Oksana Crafts. What I'm working on today, it's her her marquee crisscross wire wrapping tutorial, and I highly recommend checking it out. I also like to just set my pendants down, and I don't want to break them, but I want the bails to be, like, if it can be very flat backed, I have a tendency to set my bails too far back. Ooh! Well, let us know how that goes up for you, Kelly, because it can be, I'm always kind of scared to change things. If I know that it's been working, then it's like, like, I hesitate. Oh, I'd already pulled some off. Well, I'll need more anyways. Excuse me. And this is 20 gauge in the titanium toned enameled wire from Parawire. So we are going to be continuing with wire wrapping like this in our after party. as well as probably getting a little rambunctious. We'll see what's up. Bye, Marie. Crisscross applesauce. I really like it with the triple bale, like that. Now, whenever I'm doing a triple bale, I won't start in the dead center. I'm going to just kind of offset it. In that way, I'll use the longer side to wrap the loops, and then it comes out a lot closer to being even. Ooh, Ross says, where's a good place to get 28 gauge wire on a spool that's larger than 40 yards? Let me check something. Parawire. So here we have a spool. This is 1,250 feet. In their 26 gauge, is that the size you were looking for? 28 gauge. Yeah, at Parawire, their bulk spools, at least last time I bought them, have 2,000 feet. So ooh, Gary says, question for people who do larger projects. Do you post updates to the project or wait till the project is completely done and then post it all? Well, I'm going to answer for me, but it's open to everybody. I personally really like posting work in progress to like my social media, because it's honestly the folks, like, I don't how do I even, okay, real talk time now. I'm gonna flip around because I've been for like a minute putting together a social media marketing video that's like and one of the things that I wanted to talk about in it is, what would you do on your social media if what you were posting would be showed to everybody who follows you with no algorithm? Like, how would you behave online with your business if you weren't catering to the algorithm? And I think that's the strategy that we're embracing. Like, we embraced it this past year, and we're continuing to embrace it this year, whenever so much of the algorithm, whether it's here on YouTube or whether it's on social media, can kind of force us to be like thinking about what would be the best way to post this information, so that it gets a good return, as opposed to what's the best way to post this information that would be interesting to the people who are interested in what I'm doing. And so for me, it's, I want to provide as much value to you guys as possible, whether it's through entertainment or whether it's through education or just plain old fashioned distracting you with chickens over on my Monster blog. Like, and so with that in mind, if I were following you, which I think I am, if I'm not, help me remedy that, Gary, but as a follower of Black Hammer Studios, like, I would want to see progress pictures, like, post them, let me see what's, like, it gets me personally invested and interested, and like, I'll be there like chopping potatoes or something, being like, I wonder how that project's coming along, like. And so kind of giving the people who are interested in what you're doing continual tidbits keeps them interested in, like, I want another taste of that project. I think I'm hungry. And so, as opposed to, it might get the most views or it might get the most algorithm engagement or things like that for you to post like a really like well put together like video and stuff, but you can do both. So I hope that that's helpful to you, Gary, because like, I don't really feel like I answered your question. But it's not just about, and honestly, following that has been the best decision that I've made, because so many of the tendencies of, like, if I look at the most successful wire wrapping channels on YouTube, there's a lot of like less than 10-minute videos, and it's like, also, how do you even gauge successful? Because a lot of these metrics that we're seeing that are on the surface are just vanity metrics. So that's something that it's like, it looks big to see somebody over on Instagram with like 20,000 likes on something, but you don't know if they paid an ad, which is fine. I mean, we're businesses. Paying for ads is something that we do, or should do. I'm like, I'm not paying any money for things and stuff unless it's beads. Um, but you don't know if they've paid for an ad. You don't know if they were just graced by the good graces of the algorithm that day. Like, you don't know how many sales they made off of it. Like, you don't know. And so, like, we've been posting pretty consistently and getting like 100 likes on stuff, which used to, we would get over 1,000 on most of our stuff. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, doesn't matter. Post what is interesting, post what makes you happy, post what, like, post in a way and behave online in a way that makes you feel rejuvenated and recharged and excited about what you're doing. Because quite frankly, I hate the social media aspect of what we do. And like just today, I've been using Hootsuite to schedule, like, to draft out and schedule our posts for across multiple like social media platforms. That way I don't have to go to 5 different sites under 3 different accounts and do everything. I can just do it from one spot, do it once a week and get it scheduled, and then I can just go through, like, while I'm sitting on the couch and, like, interact with people's comments and stuff and, like, answer questions and do our thing. And it, like, didn't post. Like, I don't know if any of you saw the post this morning over on Instagram that was just like, I love this design by, and it left everything else out on the post that I had done for today. And I was just like, you're killing me. You're killing me. Like, and I hate hashtags and, like, all that garbage. That it feels so required to be able to participate in posting to social media, and it's like, just do what makes you happy. And it's like, you'll find your stride and that will work for you. And if it's not working the way that you want it to, you can start to tweak it. But compromises are important and stuff, but you don't have to be in servitude to the algorithm. And that's what I was going to say, is that with our wire wrapping masterclass, they're an hour long. Like, that's just how it's going to be. It takes me an hour or more to convey the full message to you guys. And it's like, I'm not going to trim stuff out that might be useful to you or that I feel might be relevant or have substance to it, just because it's not going to get recommended as much. And it's like, bah. Oh, Tara says, market graduate here, can tell you that data mining is hiding everywhere. You won't know when it's being used. It's being used right now just because you clicked on back to earth. Spooky but real. Yeah. I wish I'd recorded myself on the work I've done, so I look back and wonder how I did it that way. Yes! And just because you record something doesn't mean you have to post it, you guys. But you can't post it if you didn't record it, and you can't look back at it if you didn't record it. So that's just something to keep in mind. Hey, Bethy, it's just, are you shipping to Canada now? Nope. We sent out a test package to one of our friends, and it still has not arrived. So we're not going to risk wasting customers' time and stuff. So, but Gary says, I hate social media, but I'm thankful there's a place for me to put my stuff out there. Yeah, I can hate social media, but it is what we make it. So I'm working hard to try to make it into something that I can at least tolerate. Anna says, I'll post an item, then post if a sale is pending, and then post when it's sold. Right on, Anna. That's a good strategy. Gary says, I need to get my other cameras set up so I can record more while I'm working. I'll have to work on that this weekend. Yes! Kim says, how do I sell my necklaces on media? I have no money. It's perfectly free to set up an Instagram or a Facebook and to accept payments through Cash App or PayPal or things like that through direct messages. So it's just post and start doing it. Like, that's the best advice I can give, is to just start doing it, because it's things that have worked for Randy and I, things that have not worked for Randy and I may have very different results for you, and you'll only know that once you've tried it. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Hey, Joshua, thank you. Tadashi says, how can I start a business? You'll have to check out the legalities for actually getting like a business license and stuff for in your area. But it's, you kind of just, if you want, you follow us over on the Compass Rose Planner Co. because we're starting a new business. Like, this is its flagship year. And I'm actually documenting the process, and we're going to be putting together videos about starting a business. And like, aside from picking a name and getting your social media set up and setting up a website and different things like that, step one, in addition to those things, is seed and nurture your community. So I've been very, very blessed and lucky to have all of y'all to help us like, I already had my live streams on Friday to be like, hey guys, let's talk about our planners and like stuff. So it's, participate in Reddit threads, in Facebook groups, in YouTube channel chats, with other people who are interested in the thing that you're interested in, that you're starting your business on. And and there's one thing, like, you don't come elbowing in and being like, buy my stuff within your first day, like, in like a Facebook group, because they'll just be like. But if you're kind of connecting with people, if you're posting work in progress of your work and stuff, like, there's ways with tact and etiquette to kind of, you know, people will see your stuff and be like, oh my God, do you have a shop? And you can kind of build a community, and it's that community that your roots and your foundation will be built in, and then you can kind of grow from there. Yeah, right, Kat? She says, I wish they would let us go live right away. Back when we started our YouTube channel, like, it was in 2012, I think. And there were no hoops to jump through. We were able to monetize from day one. Not that we were making anything, but still, it's. Oh, Raspberry is very out of stock right now. I think they're still transitioning from their old location to their new one. Betty says, some I get no problem and some I don't. So sad. Can't wait, though, until you can ship to Canada. Same. Holy smokes, Jean. Mm-hmm. Yes, Anna, that's fantastic advice. Do not let Facebook or Instagram browbeat you into, buy this, pay for an ad to blah, blah, blah. It's like, they just want your money. Which, I mean, is hypocritical of me to be like, because I am running a business here, and don't get me wrong, I would love for you to buy stuff, but that's fine. So Kim says, I can't use Facebook. I have Twitter. Facebook won't let me advertise, but I'll try Twitter. Right on. Hey Beth. Thank you, Rhonda. Oh, you guys. This is actually, I have to let you guys go because I have to like eat and stuff before our after party. But if you guys have been enjoying hanging out and you have more questions, you just want to chat and hang out and craft some more, we're going to be doing this from 7:30 until 9 or later. We'll see. I've already shot yoga today. So, yes, I think you mean Parawire for Viking knit, and I have, Joe. It works pretty well. Like, even pulling through a draw block, I prefer a wooden draw block to a plastic one because it's easier on the metal, I think. But yeah, the after party is for our $1 and up. And this is where we get you. This is where I'm Facebook adding it and being like, if you like me, give me money. but it's literally a quarter a week. And you get access to our live stream after parties, where you can get much more one-on-one attention, because we only have like typically about 20 to 30 people in there. So in here, there's a lot of us, and I'm really bad about keeping up with comments, and I do apologize for that. But I can take the time to demonstrate stuff in there. You get our first dibs to our shop updates, as well as a beefy 20% off coupon. And so it's like for $1 a month. Like, it might not seem like a lot to y'all, but it's the world to us. So we appreciate it tremendously. But we will see you guys either in about 26 minutes, 23 minutes, or in Sunday's tutorial, which is wire wrapping masterclass lesson 2. And we are going over wire wrapped clasps. So let me know any questions that you have specifically about wire wrapped clasps in the comments, and if I get it in time, I'll put it into the video. I'll answer it there for you guys. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you later. So until then, you guys, happy crafting. Bye.